Hello everyone, welcome to Bayview here in Seattle. We are a 62 plus nonprofit life plan community. Thank you for joining us today for our virtual open house. But before we get started, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Frank Metchar. I'm the sales manager at this beautiful community. Over the last 10 years, I've worked in the senior living industry and I have seen many retirement communities across the country. I have to tell you, Bayview is by far the most unique. And let me tell you why. It's not just because of Bayview's location here in Lower Queen Anne or the stunning views we enjoy, like Elliott Bay, the Space Needle, downtown. It's because of the amazing residents that live here. They are active, engaged, and most of all, welcoming. The residents lead and create innovative activities and committees like the Garden Club, the Film and Library Committee, Mahjong, beer brewing even, winemaking, movie making, and many others. As a matter of fact, Bayview is celebrating its 60th birthday this year. That means 6 decades of enriching the lives of seniors and being part of the Queen Anne neighborhood. Many of our residents have lived in Queen Anne or the surrounding area, and they are happy that they can stay in their old stomping grounds. So, come, take a look at our community. But first I would like to tell you what a life plan community is and how we set ourselves apart from others. So, what is a life plan community? Bayview offers all levels of care for those over 62. Independent living, assisted living, memory care, and skilled nursing and rehab. You can move in independently, and should you need assistance with activities of daily living in the future, we can get you that help with our assisted living residence called Danner's Way. For people experiencing memory loss, we offer a warm and inviting neighborhood within Bayview called Dorothy's Place. It provides care to people with Alzheimer's disease or other dementias to live a life with dignity and respect. For residents who require a higher level of care in a medical setting, we have our skilled nursing and rehab. This is what aging in place with peace of mind truly is. So this is the basic outline of what a life plan community, or CCRC, a continuing care retirement community, is. But as I said it earlier, Bayview is different. As a nonprofit organization, we also established Bayview Manor Foundation in 1987. This foundation supports residents who, to no fault of their own, run out of money. Al Raymond, the president of Bayview Manor Foundation, will speak to you in just a little bit about that in detail. Another unique aspect of being a nonprofit organization, Bayview is run by a volunteer board of directors with residents serving on that board. This ensures that we can fulfill our mission of transforming the experience of aging. Let me share with you a brief overview of our program today. We'll take a tour around the community, share special video segments on our apartments, and we will have lively conversations with residents who live here at Bayview. You'll meet staff from our culinary services, spiritual care, and wellness departments. You'll hear about our foundation and more. We are holding in-person tours, so feel free to call us anytime, even during this program, to schedule your visit. My direct number and email is listed below the screen throughout the program. I would like to introduce you to a special guest, Bayview's CEO, Nancy Weinbeck. Nancy has spent over 27 years in the field of senior living, the last 20 with Bayview. Her most recent position before becoming CEO was as Director of Residential Operations. She is proud to be part of and now lead this organization with a unique, innovative, and inviting culture. A culture that works with residents to enhance and grow a warm and welcoming environment to residents, staff, and the greater community. Nancy, take it away.
Thanks, Frank. Hi, everybody. I'm Nancy Weinbeck, CEO of Bayview, and I am so delighted that I get to be here, but mostly that you're here coming to our virtual open house. We're so happy to have you. I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself and then tell you a little more about Bayview. I've been CEO at Bayview for about 2.5 years now, but I've been an employee of Bayview for 20 years, a little over 20 years at this point. My focus here at Bayview has always been on the independent portion of our community, and as you know, we're life plan community, so we have all different care levels here so we can meet the changing needs. Should there be changes, we have the capability to accommodate that. I love Bayview, and if I didn't, I wouldn't be here for 20 years. We have amazing staff and amazing residents, and I'm excited that I get to tell you a little bit more about us. One thing you may have noticed if you've been getting any email from us is our 60th anniversary logo. Bayview opened its doors to its first residents in 1961, so right around the time of the Seattle World's Fair. And we've been going strong ever since. We have a real connection to our past. We are here because of a very generous gift from the estate of Charles Kinnear, who lived in a mansion on this property where Bayview stands. Charles Kinnear had a very deep and special relationship with Dr. Cyrus Albertson, and some of you may remember Dr. Albertson was the head pastor at Seattle First Methodist Church, which then became Seattle First United Methodist Church, and he had a radio sermon every Sunday. This was back in the 50s, and Charles, who was not a church-going gentleman, started tuning into those sermons, and eventually Charles and Dr. Albertson became very close friends. And when Charles Kinnear wrote up his will, he, through his friendship with Dr. Albertson, bequeathed his property to the church for the care of seniors and or children. And we are so fortunate that since 1996, actually, we've been able to do both, because in 96 we opened up our Intergenerational Children's Center, and that's been going strong ever since. And that's one of the things that makes Bayview stand out as a life plan community, that we have childcare. Back in 1961, retirement looked a lot different than it does today, and Bayview has continued to adapt and change over the years to meet the changing generations that have come to know and love Bayview and have become part of the Bayview family. A couple of years back, we underwent a major renovation so that we can meet the needs of the next generation of folks who are calling Bayview their home. And with that, we rebuilt our pool, we created new dining venues, and we created other spaces and changed apartments to be more appealing to newer generations of residents. Bayview has always stayed strong and resilient through the decades since 1961, and that certainly has been no different as we face the challenges of the pandemic. But I will tell you, I couldn't be more proud of our staff and our residents who did an amazing job getting us through this pandemic. Of course, it's not over yet, but hopefully the clouds will be lifting soon, and we've kept Bayview a safe and nourishing and supportive community for all of our staff and residents. As I look outside this window, there is a beautiful layer of blue sky with some clouds above, and I know that the blue sky is there above the clouds too, and we are all getting there as a community, not just Bayview, but as a global community. And bright skies are ahead, and they're looking brighter with your interest in Bayview. So can't wait to meet you in person, and we hope you enjoy this virtual open house. Frank, take it away.
Thank you, Nancy, for your kind words. Let's start our community tour. Are you ready? We are now on the 10th floor of our community with its expansive views of Elliott Bay, downtown, Mount Rainier, and Puget Sound. You probably can see all this warm, natural light coming in. Imagine all the wonderful sunsets you can enjoy, or the lights of our beautiful city at night. This space can also be reserved for events and parties, for entertainment, and much more. More importantly, and especially during the pandemic, this large space has offered a calm oasis for our community. The 10th floor truly offers breathtaking views. In fact, when I give you an in-person tour, this is one of the first places I will take you. All right, let's head downstairs to our Thrive Fitness Center and pool. Here we are at our Thrive Fitness Center with fully equipped gym and warm water therapy pool. Nalene is our Director of Wellness. Her credentials include a BA degree in dance and a master's degree in exercise physiology. She's also a certified personal trainer. We are very fortunate to have her lead our fitness department, in which she infuses all her knowledge and experience into programming. You will get to meet her later in the program. My personal favorite is our saltwater therapy pool. The residents really enjoy the warm, soothing water where they can exercise without impacting their joints. All right, let's move on to our next location. Right across to the fitness center and pool is All the Buzz Salon. If you want to get your hair done or need a manicure or pedicure, this is the place. Thrive Fitness Center and All the Buzz Salon are on Bayview's Plaza level. In addition, we have Mr. Pickle's Bistro, as well as our therapy department. We partner with Infinity Rehab, and the therapy team are one of the best. Here we are in one of our residents' favorite locations, our expansive and private terrace lawn. You can see the beautiful landscaping and the greenhouse where the members of our garden committee have truly created an oasis at Bayview. The brick pathway along the terrace is a dedication to the remembrance of loved ones. In addition to this, residents came together to dedicate a brick to every staff member here in honor of their sacrifices during the pandemic. This is another example of our community spirit here at Bayview. Bayview is a pet-friendly community. We know how much your pet means to you, and they are part of the family. So if you have a pooch, you can take it out for a walk around the neighborhood, or you can bring them right here to our enclosed dog park, all in a short walking distance from your apartment. Welcome to our arts and crafts studio. You will enjoy various classes that take place right in here. Watercolor, acrylics, crafting, baking, and you can even watch a cooking demonstration presented by our chef. Overall, this is the spot where you can let your creative juices flow. Our library offers a wide variety of books. You can find it all here: fiction, nonfiction, suspense, biographies, and even books that some of our residents wrote. I mentioned earlier that Bayview is celebrating its 60th anniversary this year. We keep Bayview's archives in our library to document our rich history. We have a resident-led archive committee that keeps our history alive, and we're grateful for all their hard work. Let's now look at some of our other spaces. We are now in our Albertson Center, or the chapel at Bayview. This beautiful stained glass artwork behind me was made by Keiko Miura, a famous Japanese artist. This space is multifunctional. We have town halls here, lectures, entertainment, and concerts. A lot of memories have been created here. The space is also used for Vesper services on weekends, and our Director of Spiritual Care, Juliana, will tell you more about her role here at Bayview later in the program. Next to the Albertson Center is our Kinnear Theater, where we show movies ranging from rom-coms to documentaries. Now, what would an open house be without a tour of apartments? Bayview has studios, alcoves, 1-bedroom, 2 bedrooms, and premium apartments. For this next segment, we teamed up with Morley Creative and a few residents to showcase their apartment. A huge thanks to Morley Creative and the residents who participated in this video. Now you're in for a treat. Let's take a look at Maggie's and David's 1-bedroom apartment and Anne's 2-bedroom apartment.
Hey, Frank.
Hello, Maggie. Hi, David. How are you?
We're great.
Thank you so much for inviting me over to take a look at your apartment. It's very generous of you.
Of
and
course.
I'm very excited.
Come on in.
This is a beautiful kitchen. Wow.
Thanks, Frank. We like it.
Is this a sewing machine over there?
It is. The food here at Bayview is so delicious, I don't have to cook. So I was able to turn my kitchen into an arts and crafts area.
That's very smart. What's your favorite meal here?
The rainbow trout here at Bayview is delicious. We don't get it often, so when we do, it's a real treat.
Nice. What about you, David?
Cookies, especially oatmeal raisin cookies. The kitchen here sent me up some today, and would you like to have one?
Oh, I would love to. Thank you. Oh, wow. They are delicious.
They are.
You know, I'm looking around here and I see I have this amazing view of Elliott Bay and downtown. This is unbeatable. Now, what was the main reason for you to move to Bayview?
There were a lot of reasons, to be truthful. Location was certainly one of them. Queen Anne has restaurants, they have grocery stores, everything's right here. As Storm fans, we're particularly interested in seeing the Storm play here in our neighborhood. There's also a bus stop which has almost seems like every route in town you can get to from there. And you can even take the D line now and go the other direction to the north and places like Inter Bay Golf Course.
And I assume this is where you play golf.
Yes, and it's nice and that I can just take the bus too, so
Great.
like it.
What about you, Maggie? Do you have anything that's special to you in this neighborhood?
Well, as David mentioned, the buses are so frequent here on Queen Anne. You can take a real quick bus ride downtown to the Symphony, to any of the theaters, to restaurants, and it saves a lot of money in parking.
That's true.
Let me show you the rest of the apartment, Frank.
Oh, wow, this is a really beautiful bedroom. Very impressive.
Thank you.
Now, if you could give a piece of advice to our viewers, what would that be, Maggie?
I think that starting to downsize now is really important. It's a daunting task and you want to get a jump on it. And you never know when the perfect, beautiful Bayview apartment is going to be available. And you're going to want to move in right away and join this wonderful community. And remember, you're going to bring more than you need and forget a few things.
Right. David, do you have anything to add to that?
I would add that this moving to Bayview is not just a change of location, although it is, it's also a change of lifestyle. I mean, for us, it brought us into a whole new community of like-minded people in a lot of ways. They furnish everything for us and take care of us. So yeah, it's a much different lifestyle than we had.
Well, great. Again, thank you so much for having me. It was a real pleasure being here.
Oh, thank you so much for coming, Frank. Here, let me show you out.
Do you have any plans for the rest of the day?
I have a committee meeting in a few minutes.
What about you, Dave?
I have a tea time at Inter Bay.
Great. Well, I hope you both are having fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Frank. Come again.
Bye-bye.
Frank, hello.
Hello, Anne.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm just fine.
Thank you so much for taking the time to show us your apartment.
I'm glad you're here. Please come in. I was just putting some things away.
Wow, this is beautiful.
Yes, it is.
Well, Anne, our viewers are very curious about you, of course. What were your reasons to come to Bayview? How long have you lived here?
I've been here for 3.5 years, and I came here primarily because I have a son and his family who live just up the hill, and it's very nice to be closer to them.
This is very convenient.
Yes, it is. It is convenient to everything.
What else do you like about Bayview?
I really appreciate the community, and the classes that are offered here are quite wonderful. For example, we created our very own beer and wine club, and
Oh,
this is our very first wine, and the label was done by one of our residents who was a watercolorist. She teaches a class too, so we can take class from her.
very interesting.
It's lovely. It's
Yeah.
lovely.
Now, Anne, Are there other things that you are very passionate about?
Yes, of course. There's always music. Actually, one of my students, she is doing an audition, and so I pulled out some of the work that she had done to decide what would be just right for her audition. And I've never been without a piano. I taught music, public schools, college. It's just always been my life.
You have a Steinway in your apartment in Seattle.
That was primarily why I needed to find space that I could bring it with me.
It is a really spacious
It is,
apartment.
and I have more room back here. Please follow me. This is my everything room. I mean, it's
Wow.
primarily a bedroom, but as you can see, there is a lot of space. I have room for a workspace. I have room for a table on which to do anything. Right now, there's a puzzle on it.
Oh, what are you working on?
Well, this is the design of the carpet in the Imperial Hotel in Tokyo. It's a wonderful carpet.
This is beautiful.
Did
Did you just find a piece?
I did. You can always find one more piece. All you have to do is pass through the room.
Oh, I see you have some artwork on the wall there.
My art studio, yes. These are the first works done by my grandchildren.
Is that a portrait of you?
Isn't that amazing? You should guess. Yes, she was 4 years old and she painted a portrait of me to give to me for my Christmas gift, yes.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yes.
Are they still sending you things?
Oh, yes.
Good.
Yes, I have more in here and I love it for them to send me things.
Oh, wow, this is a spacious walk-in closet.
It is wonderful. I do appreciate the space. I said to her I would like something yellow. Here is my something yellow. And then my grandson decided he would have a Bob Ross moment. So this is his Bob Ross painting. So,
Oh, this is
yes.
really beautiful, very
yes.
impressive.
So I'm sorry, Frank, I have a class.
Oh, of course.
Yes, and I don't want to be late, so I
No.
hate to push you out.
Well, what kind of class do you have?
This is a philosophy class, and it's a professor from the University of Washington who is excellent.
Oh, very
And
interesting.
every class he teaches, I sign up for.
Great,
So,
great.
yes. Listen, when it's time for us again to do our third brewing of beer, we'll be sure that you're there.
That would be so nice. I really appreciate it. And
It's a fun project.
again, thank you so much. You're such a gracious
You're
host. Thanks for
very
having me.
welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank
Take
you.
care. Have a good day.
Yes, you too.
We hope you enjoyed the tour of apartments. Thanks again to Maggie, David, and Anne for giving our prospective residents a glimpse of your home. In this next segment, we have conversations with residents and later in the program also with key staff at Bayview. Take a look. Hello everybody, welcome back. I have the pleasure to introduce to you our newest resident here at Bayview. Leila, please if you could tell a little bit about yourself, maybe
Well-
your professional background, how long you've lived here.
Okay. I've lived in Seattle most of my life. I attended grade school, high school, college here, and my professional life was spent 24 years of it anyway with the Seattle College District
Interesting.
as an academic advisor and educational planner, and loved it. But 24 years was enough. And after that, when I retired, I also spent some time as a snowbird in Arizona, and I lived part of the year here in Seattle and part of the year in Arizona. After my husband passed, I decided to come home and stay put, and then started looking into a life plan community. And
Why was that important to you?
I think because I wanted some place that accommodated the inevitable changes that come with aging. And
I'm sure you looked at other communities as well.
I did. And some really nice places, and I have friends that live in some of those places. But when I visited Bayview, it really was gut instinct. I mean, I felt comfortable with the staff here, the people that I met, everybody from the receptionist to the maintenance people I happened to run into at the elevator. And it was just a very welcoming and warm environment. And that appealed to me.
Good. Thank you so much. Now, as a new resident, what are your expectations? What is it that you're looking forward to?
Well, I'm really looking forward to taking advantage of more of the amenities. I haven't really had time to do that. And so I'm looking forward to that. And of course, to meeting more new neighbors.
Great. Now, as some of our prospective residents that are tuning in, they probably want to see if you have a piece of advice for them. What good advice could you give them?
The best advice I can give is to tell anybody to visit this place, to come in, because you can't really get the full impact by going to the site. I would advise them to come in, tour the place, talk to people here, interact with the residents here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Is there anything else you would like to share about your experience?
It's been great so far. I'm convinced that I made the right choice by moving here. And once I get all the boxes unpacked in my apartment, I'll feel better.
Leela, thank you so much. It's a pleasure talking to you.
You're welcome.
And again, welcome home here at Bayview.
Thank you.
I'm here with Paige. Paige is one of the residents that has lived here for a while. Paige, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time. If you could please introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe your professional background and such.
Well, my name is Paige Baldwin. I have been here 4 years as of last August. So, gee whiz, all of a sudden it's October. And time just flies. What have I done in my life? I was a social worker for the last 20 years of my career, worked at the UW Medical Center as an outpatient social worker. Before that, I guess I'd have to say I was in the financial field.
I see.
I have an accounting degree, and I spent 20 some odd years figuring out what to do with it. And I decided to throw it away was a good idea. And I got my master's in social work, and my career blossomed, and I had a great time.
Good, good.
And when I decided to come here, it was because I've been single most of my life, and I decided I don't have anybody to hold my hand or take care of me at home. So I thought, well, it would be a good idea to move into a place like this. And I have a friend whose mother lives here. And when the mother was moving in, she told me, not the mother, but the daughter, told me that if she had it her way, she would be moving in here right now. So that was a good sign.
Good.
And so when it came time, I decided it was time to come in, and I don't think I really looked anywhere else but here. I had it in my mind that this is where I would come, and Bayview truly is a unique place. Here we are in the middle of the city. We've got all these leafy trees around. We've got this fabulous view.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. So I just think the move for me was good, and I'm glad I did it early because I have time to fool around as an independent person before I have to think about getting more aid to get around.
We need maybe a little bit more help.
Right.
Now, but there's also something about you that is very interesting, and that is that you are the president of the Residents' Council. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what that role entails?
Well, on a more serious note, the Residents' Council consists of representatives from every floor, and we meet once a month, and we hash out different issues. But the council's purpose is really to be the liaison between the residents and management, if you will. And the better relationship we have with management, the more open that relationship is both ways, the better off we all are. And I believe that we have a very good relationship with management. Our CEO is wonderful.
Yes, she is absolutely
Yes.
wonderful, I have to say. Now, is there anything else that you would like to share with our viewers? Maybe some piece of advice?
I think the earlier they can get here, the better. A lot of times people have come here and they have said, I wish I'd come here sooner. And I am glad that I did. I've never heard anybody say, I wish I came here too soon. Because it's a place, it's a built-in community. And you can participate as much as you want or not at all. You have your own apartment. You can hide in it if you want. But most of us are out and about doing things. And we create our community. We have a fabulous garden. And we have a fabulous view up here where we're filming. And yeah, it's fine. It's great. Wonderful.
Really everything you need is here.
Come early. Stay healthy as long as you can. But know that you have a safety net should that be necessary.
That is really great advice. Paige, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Hello, everybody. It's Frank again here at Bayview. I'm sitting here with Ellen. She's one of the residents, and I would like to introduce you to her. Ellen, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, good morning all. I'm Ellen Porter. I moved into Bayview in May of 2018 and have thoroughly enjoyed my experience here.
Well, that's great. Why did you make the decision in the first place to come to Bayview?
I decided... Stop that.
That's okay.
I found that I would not be having any family on this side of the pond, so to speak, so I wanted to find my own family here in a community like this and not have to worry about being on my own.
Just making new friends, finding new social interactions, things like that? That
you're
makes
right.
sense.
There's tons of things to do here.
Yeah. You know, that's actually my next question. A lot of people that move to Bayview, they would like to experience some new things, some new opportunities. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Bayview has a lot of different things going on. They have speakers that come in, and they have people that actually, there's a writing class given by a lady, I believe it's starting this week. It's at least her 4th or 5th time coming back and is always filled to the brim with people. We have people doing different study groups, book clubs, art classes.
So I understand you're also interested in some new things, and you actually experienced a few new things.
Yeah, I had always wanted to learn how to play bridge, but my parents didn't pay. So I learned how to play here. I'm still a beginner, but I'm still welcomed into the games because sometimes they just need a body who knows somewhat what to do. And a group of us are just learning how to play mahjong, and we've been doing it for 2 months now and have thoroughly enjoyed it.
Wonderful.
And we have a cribbage group, and that's one thing I did know how to play. So I enjoy that also.
So, Ellen, maybe you can talk a little bit about what makes Bayview special. Once you moved in, you experienced a few things, but what is it that makes Bayview so special to you?
To me, it was a very welcoming environment. You would be stopped and asked, are you a new resident? Your name, and I'm such and such. I live on this floor. If you see us at the dining room or something, please come and join us. You're not excluded.
Oh, that's great. So basically, from day one, you feel very welcomed.
And I swear all of the staff must have our pictures on their phone because it seems like they know your name in less than a day. And they are wonderful.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Now, Bayview is uniquely a life plan community. And maybe you can tell us a little bit about the difference between a life plan community and just living in a condo or living alone in a home.
Well, it is totally different, but you can do all sorts of things. We are independent living here. You don't have to get permission to do almost anything.
We also have assisted living here,
Yes, assisted living and memory care.
right?
We do interact with them, those people, those that are able to. And
then, of course, we also have the skilled nursing. That
Yes.
It's really aging in place. Wouldn't you agree?
yes, you can come in as an independent resident, and as you need more things, you could get some more help in, or you can move to assisted living. Or if you end up with dementia or anything else, we have that here also.
That's great. Well, it sounds like you are very happy here at Bayview.
Yes.
And I would like to thank you for sitting here with me and chat a little bit. Thank you
Okay,
so much,
thank you.
Ellen. Thank you so much for watching this little interview with Ellen, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, Leela, Ellen, and Paige, for sharing your stories. Before we jump into our conversations with staff, let's talk about the foundation. Here's the president of Bayview Manor Foundation, Al Raymond. He will talk about the foundation and what this means to residents living at Bayview. Al, take it away.
Thank you, Frank, for giving me this chance to talk about my favorite topic, the Bayview Manor Foundation. My name is Al Raymond, and I am the president of the foundation. I joined the board shortly after coming to Bayview in April of 2017, and I was struck by what this foundation does. And essentially what it does is provides a safety net for that major problem that most seniors have, and that is, how long will the nest egg last? Will I outlive my resources? And what the foundation does, number one, is it provides a security, a safety net. If you run out of money before you run out of life, it will subsidize you. Since the inception in 1987, about $4.5 million has been given out to over 30 residents to keep them here. The second major reason that the foundation exists is to enhance the life of residents here. Examples being the greenhouse, which was a restricted gift, or a van, for example. And the third reason is to subsidize any other or support any other programs at Bayview. So the foundation is a 501c3 foundation, which means its donations are tax deductible. It exists exclusively to support Bayview. And finally, it is a public foundation. That is, it's not funded by a rich family like the Gates family foundation is, but it's funded by people like you. Here is a moving story about the foundation. Take a look.
I've lived at Bayview for 16 plus years now. I have to say that every time I drive into our garage, I'm just filled with gratitude for having come here. You have wonderful people to surround you, staff that nurture you, and programs that stimulate you. My husband and I, we're an unusual couple. There's 18 years between us. He's Chinese and I'm Japanese. He takes pride in being a traditionalist, and I'm a radical feminist. We married very late in life. It was 1 year before he retired. And so we thought we wouldn't have much time together, certainly not a lifetime together. But we lived 37 plus years together in marriage. My husband is 102 years old now, and he's terminally ill, and I'm able to take care of him in our apartment with the service of hospice. We know that we have a very limited future together now, and so it's special for us to be able to have this time. Once he passes, probably our income is going to be decreased 2/3%. I think we have planned and saved enough for me to have, but one never knows because you don't know how long you're going to live.
Having seen other such facilities, particularly profit-making ones where people can be forced to move out if they run out of money, Bayview doesn't allow that. The Bayview Foundation enables people to live to the end of their lives in the community of which they've become a part, surrounded by friends and loved ones and good care. Once they become a part of this community, they will always be. That's enough reason right there for me to want to support the efforts of the foundation.
To be looking for a place when you're in crisis, and hopefully you have family or somebody who can help you, but that would just be a tragedy, I think. And I would certainly hate for anyone to have to go through that. I just think that this community stands behind its residents and doesn't let that happen is awesome. It is really inspiring to be able to help these amazing people have quality and purposeful lives and to ensure that they have a place to live until they no longer need it.
The foundation is the ground of all of life here. And I don't think of the ground of it being like granite, maybe more like the roots of a tree. These roots nourish us and keep the institution going. When one has the foundation as part of their legacy, they're contributing to something that's very alive and always growing and always has a future. It's very good to know the foundation is there. I don't have to stress out and I don't have to be afraid about each new day I have to face to think that I might run out of money. And I know that there's that net there for me. So I feel like when it's my time, I'm going to be able to just go through that tunnel of love and compassion because of Bayview.
Thanks, Al. Just a side note, Bayview holds an annual Savoy Gala that supports raising funds for the foundation. We look forward to next year's gala. Now, let's move to our next segment with conversations with staff. Staff here at Bayview range from new hires to those employed over 40 years. Hope you enjoy the next segment. We are here with Dan Galvin. Dan is our Director of Culinary Services. Dan, thank you so much for taking the time. If you could please introduce yourself, give us a little bit of your background.
Absolutely. Thank you, Frank. I'm glad to have you here too, being so new. My name is Dan Galvin. As Frank said, I'm the Culinary Service Director at Bayview. I've been here almost 14 years. My background is hotels, restaurants. I am a former owner of a couple of restaurants down in Oregon. I'm from Michigan, and I went to school in Arizona and moved up to Oregon and then to Seattle, wonderful Seattle. I have a wonderful wife and son here in Queen Anne, where we've lived for almost 15 years now.
Wow.
And, yeah.
You're right at the heart, right where we are.
Yes, easy commute.
Good.
Yes.
Earlier I talked to some of your colleagues about what does your department bring to the table when it comes to the philosophy or the atmosphere here at Bayview. What do you think?
Yeah, gosh, my goal has always been simple. Coming from the restaurant and hotel background, I really feel that we bring a restaurant style quality in both food and service. Our staff here is the heart and soul. I've had the core of our staff here has been here longer than I have. I have staff members that have been here from 25 years on, and it's just, they're amazing. And they really are what makes our food service department go. They are adored by our residents. We hire people that care, that don't just need a job, that actually want to be here. And I think that you can contribute that to the long tenure that they've had here.
Right, right. Now, tell me a little bit about the variety of your meals, the variety of the food, because as you know, our residents, they're well-traveled. They have seen the world. They like to experiment a little bit and experience new tastes, new cultures. How do you
Sure. Well, I was a former restaurant owner, which I may not have mentioned, but it was Mediterranean cuisine. I spent a few weeks at the Culinary Institute in Northern California learning all about Mediterranean cuisine. And from there, I learned about wine and pairings in other countries as well. But that is where my heart is. Of course, being in the Great Northwest, I love the local products and things that we can get here. I pretty much describe our model as world cuisine. Our menus are always changing. I think that they cater to everybody. There's a wide variety of choices. We cater to all kinds of different dietary restrictions. We have a wonderful dietitian on site to make sure that your healthy options are always there. So really, it's unlimited. We really feel that we're in a great place. We have a great board and a great CEO that lets us really let loose on the cuisine.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Now, for our viewers that are considering moving to Bayview, how does your department make them feel welcome?
Right. Well, other departments, I always feel a little maybe shy when I say this, but a lot of the residents' day does revolve around food. I mean, it's where they come down and dine 3 meals a day in whatever venue they choose to do. It's a time to get together with other residents and their families,
Right.
To discuss anything in the world, but it just revolves around food. So, our food service department knows that when new residents move into Bayview that it's going to be a transition. And we do everything we can to welcome them. The residents do everything they can to welcome them as well. But if there's one thing I've seen, the transition of moving into Bayview from their home, that I know it's difficult because I have an 86-year-old mom who's going through that as well right now. And one thing I always tell her, I said, the first few weeks is always difficult, but it always ends up, definitely at Bayview, being comfortable.
Being a good experience.
A great experience,
Yeah.
and the sense of belonging. And
Yes.
and all I hear is, wow, how great your staff is and how comfortable it is being in your dining room and being together. So that is one thing that I love about Bayview, is seeing that transition of residents coming into a community and really feeling comfortable.
And starting to blossom and feel really at home. And,
Absolutely.
Well, Dan, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. And thank you for this delicious gyro earlier.
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm happy to introduce to you Juliana Bateman. She is the Director of Spiritual Care here at Bayview. Juliana, thank you so much for sitting down with me so we can chat. If you could please introduce yourself and give us a little bit background.
Sure, absolutely. My name is Juliana, as Frank said, and I have been at Bayview almost exactly 3 years. And I've had a lifelong love and curiosity with religion and spirituality. And so, and I have a pretty eclectic background, which I think helps me make connections and walk with people.
Oh,
So
tell me more about that.
yeah, so my mom's Quaker, and so I was raised for the first part of my childhood in the Quaker church. And then my dad's Catholic, and I was raised the second part of my childhood in the Catholic church. And they are actually kind of opposites.
Oh, really?
As far as, as worship style and tradition. Went to Seattle U, which is a Catholic college, to study theology. And there did a lot of wrestling, a lot of questioning, and ended up visiting pretty much every faith community I could find. And then ended up hanging out with the Methodists. So
This is really I think that's a great background, and it's something that you can bring to the table that really qualifies you for the job here at Bayview. Now, when it comes to your department, what is your philosophy? What is your contribution to your department?
absolutely. Well, I think it's important to define what spirituality is. And for me, that means how we as human beings make meaning or find our purpose. Another way to think about it is how we connect to ourselves, to each other, to our environment, and to the divine, if that's part of our frame of reference.
Right.
Yeah, and so that means everyone has spirituality.
That's right, because we are all connected.
Correct.
And we all search for meaning.
Right.
Now, for our viewers right now, what would you like to share with them as they prepare or think about moving to Bayview?
Absolutely. I see this community as really full of growth. And, everyone who moves here has made a big change. Moving is hard work, and it's a transition. And it's really exciting because people talk about, this is what my life has been. These are all the things that I've accomplished and done. And now this is kind of a new phase of life. So now what? How can I use my skills, talents in new ways?
And your role here at Bayview in welcoming people, how would you describe that?
Well, I think my favorite thing to do is to have conversations with people where I just make space for them to talk about their experience. And often it is to kind of wrestle with, this is what I did during my life, and I just had to get rid of my house that I love, and that was hard, but here I am at Bayview, and it's exciting, and here are some of the things I've been thinking about. So I can help people kind of sink down and really listen to their heart and try to help them figure out what good next steps might be for them.
And take a little bit away from that nervousness that's definitely there when you make a decision like that, like moving to Bayview.
Right. Absolutely.
Juliana, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
We are here with Nalene Salvador. She's our Director of Wellness here at Bayview. Nalene, thank you so much for taking the time to be here and for our little chat. If you could introduce yourself and give us a little bit of your background.
Okay. Yes, my name is Nalene Salvador. I am the Director of Wellness here at Bayview. I've been here for 4 years. So my movement background includes dance and martial arts and also personal training. So my first degree in college was I majored in dance. That modern dance, and then I moved on to personal training, which I actually stumbled into doing that into my master's degree. So I have a master's in exercise physiology as well.
Wow, that's quite a qualification. Very interesting. Now, I talked to Juliana earlier, and we were discussing a little bit about the philosophy for her department. I would like to hear the same. What you think is your philosophy that you're bringing to the table in the wellness department?
Okay. Yeah, that's a really good question. And the philosophy that I take into fitness, into wellness, into movement overall really is one of like a holistic approach. So within our department of wellness and fitness at Bayview, we take in the dimensions of wellness, and we look at 7. There are many different dimensions, but and so that's kind of looking at a whole person approach, not just fitness. It's fitness as just one aspect, and knowing that there's the social aspect, there's the environmental aspect, and the vocational aspect even too. And so I like to within here at Bayview, I like to collaborate, and that's like my favorite thing to do, whether it's collaborating with residents or collaborating with other departments to create new programs, new things, new offerings.
Wow, this is really interesting. As you said earlier, it's not just about fitness, but I think wellness is really a choice of a lifestyle.
Right.
You know, this is really what it's all about. If you could give it a little advice to our viewers, the viewers that are thinking about moving to Bayview or maybe already made plans. Any advice for them?
Advice. Ooh. Well, we are a thriving community and very active. And so I think that if you would like to join our community, definitely come in and have a tour and stop by my office, and we can have a little chat, and I can show you around the fitness center with our pool and our studio and just all the offerings that we have here. And
So I understand you're also doing an orientation once a new resident moves in.
Yes. Once a new resident moves in and you are comfortable, you're settled, or you want to get started right away, the first step would be to have an orientation with me so that we can get you access into the fitness center, so I can show you all the fun safety things and just show you how it works here. And
Good. Sounds like you will be able to take some of the jitters away and help people feel comfortable.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, Nalene, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you to all our staff for sharing a little bit about your departments and services. When you come in for an in-person tour, you will likely meet Dan, Nalene, Juliana, and others. Before we conclude, I wanted to show you a short video we did earlier this year. It's another glimpse of our community. Take a look.
When the pandemic started, I think we all thought it would last maybe weeks, maybe a month. We had no idea that it would last such a long time. The thing that I'm really happy about is I feel like I couldn't be in a safer place. You know, I think we've been cautious about how we interact. We've gotten good advice from the management here.
And of course, living here, I get to see my neighbors once in a while, so I didn't feel as isolated as I'm sure I would have, living in my home. And now, I'm looking forward to opening up, because there are people who moved here, people I haven't met during this time when we haven't been able to welcome them the way we would normally welcome new folks here.
I think when we moved in here, there was the sense immediately that we were joining a community, and it was amazing how quickly it began to feel like family. Particularly, I was surprised at how fast the staff became part of our life, and we began to know their stories, and they knew ours. This has continued, and it makes me have confidence in the future about whatever level of care we need, that these are people that already know us and are already friends and will be supportive to us.
When I walked into Bayview, the sense of community and vivaciousness was very apparent. And when you add up the staff, plus the whole caring community of residents, it makes for a wonderful experience in which to age. And it frees you up to do the things that you are passionate about. And I personally am passionate about watercolor. I teach a watercolor class here at Bayview, and I share that passion as much as I can. And that's been a wonderful gift to have as I'm in this elder part of my life.
So I've lived at Bayview for 8 years, and during the time I've lived here, the community has changed. It's become younger, and it's become more diverse. So now we have people of many religions, lots of different backgrounds. We have people who've lived in other parts of the world and bring that richness to Bayview. We're white and brown and Asian. We're gay and straight. We're Democrats and Republicans. So there's a richness in this community. Whoever you are, you'll find a place here.
We are now coming to the conclusion of our virtual open house. I hope you enjoyed our program today. Thank you to all our participants, but most importantly, thank you to all our viewers today. Please call me to discuss and explore your options. I'm here to help navigate your move to Bayview, this beautiful life plan community. We will talk about our wait list, pricing, specials, and your needs and expectations. Again, call today to schedule a tour. We also have monthly webinars on various topics that you can sign up for on our website. Once again, thank you all for coming today. I look forward to seeing you in person.